All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Wrestling Otaku back here on the one and only Wrestling Otaku channel. Of course, your personification of excellence on YouTube and YWC. We're the best reviews wrestling and your three-time YWC channel of the year. And I'm back here. It is now, of course, Thursday night, October 16th of 2025. Hope you all have had a good one, had a good day, had a good week so far as we head into the weekend here. And in a couple of days, we have AEW's next big mega pay-per-view, that being Wrestle Dream, which is this Saturday in 2 days, of course, the 18th of October. And so I will be giving you guys my predictions video for the said event, as I promised in the video I did yesterday. I'm either going to do it tonight or maybe tomorrow. It all kind of depends. If I have the time to, if I feel up to it, I'll definitely do it tonight. But as soon as possible, I'll definitely give you guys that video between now and, of course, Saturday. But here tonight with this video, I want to talk about something that immediately caught my attention, and it's been pretty much circulating through the wrestling news all day. And that is this story regarding Andrade, his recent return to AEW, and now some apparent backlash as a result of just the method, just certain things involving his departure from WWE initially. So, as you guys know, Andrade El Idolo, or whatever he's called, Andrade, whatever it is he's called now, I'm pretty sure it's Andrade, just Andrade, a lot of people know him as. He returned to AEW a couple weeks ago, on the first Dynamite of October. It was their 6-year anniversary special. Andrade made a surprise appearance, and he apparently aligned himself with the Don Callis family, thus sparking, a lot of speculation. A lot of people gave their reactions and so on and so forth. My reaction is, I kind of don't understand, like, AEW just taking another chance on this guy. That's just from my perspective, especially the way he was ousted from WWE. There's the potential of him being like a locker room, a problem in the locker room, things of that nature, especially considering how he left AEW in the first place and went to WWE a couple years ago. Now all of a sudden he gets dropped from WWE and he's right back in AEW. And I was just kind of questioning, AEW and Tony Khan, do you really want to take a chance at this guy? Do you really want to take a chance and bring him back? I've since kind of, my stance has kind of, for the most part, been unchanged. I'll give AEW the benefit of the doubt in this regard. I mean, I don't think they would have brought him back if they don't, see something in him. So I'll give AEW and Tony Khan the benefit of the doubt in that regard. But I still have hesitations. I still have reservations about whether or not Andrade is going to be a capable guy. Not necessarily in terms of, wrestling-wise, because he's decent enough. I'm talking about, as a person. In terms of being in that locker room and actually, behaving himself, pretty much. Can he not be a problem? Can he not be a locker room problem? That's my main concern, and so on and so forth. Because AEW's had plenty of that over the years. They definitely don't need another case of a locker room cancer and another fucking locker room revolt and all that bullshit that we've heard over the years with AEW. It's something that's plagued this company for quite some time, and they definitely don't need it, especially now. They got such positive momentum. They've got all this, a lot of good. AEW's doing a lot of good right now. The last thing they need is a setback, somebody being a problem in the locker room, especially somebody who they gave a chance before and then jumped back to WWE the first opportunity they got, and now he's gone, or he got ousted from WWE, and now he's just back in AEW. So it's just one of those kind of things. I'm more of a wait and see kind of guy. I give AEW and Tony Khan the benefit of the doubt in regards to that. And that was my stance. And it remains my stance. Now we're getting news that Andrade's departure from WWE has a couple more wrinkles that a lot of people don't know about. See, since Andrade made his return, his grand return, a surprise return at Dynamite a couple weeks ago, he hasn't been seen on TV since, sparking a lot of people questioning, oh, where's Andrade? He debuted a couple weeks ago. Why hasn't he been seen on TV? Where's the follow-up? Where's the follow-up of him joining the Don Callis family? Why hasn't he been on TV? So on and so on. And all valid questions. My take was, maybe he's doing something else. Maybe there's some other issues that he has to deal with. Certain talents, especially talents, from overseas talents, international talents have, issues with visas and things like that. I think Mina Shirakawa just got her visa renewed, and so it's one of those kind of things. I was thinking of something like that. But apparently there was issues regarding Andrade's departure from WWE. And according to multiple reports that have been circulating throughout the day, the reason for Andrade's absence, which has been explained now, which I guess we know now, is because Andrade was supposedly serving a non-compete clause after he got released, after he got fired from WWE. And the thing about it is, nobody knew about it until literally today. Like, I've heard reports like I got this, of course, courtesy. This report comes from Wrestling Inc., the one that I read before I came on here. But this has been reported from Fightful Select. It's been reported from PW Insider. Multiple sources are reporting that apparently the reason why Andrade is not featured on TV is because he is under supposedly a no-compete clause or non-compete clause from WWE. Which, if y'all should know, if you guys have followed wrestling in the last few years, every time a talent gets released from WWE, if they're a main roster talent, they usually serve a 90-day no-compete clause, which means they can't wrestle or they can't sign with another company until that non-compete clause is up. Now, for main roster talents, it's 90 days, which is equivalent to 3 months. For NXT talents, it's usually 30 days, which is 1 month. And usually there are exceptions, like if a wrestler, if their contract expires and, they don't re-sign with WWE, then they're a free agent, basically. They can sign anywhere they want without having to wait. But if they're released, usually there's a non-compete clause. But the thing about this, the thing that makes this story so baffling is that when Andrade was released, there was no report whatsoever. There was no news of him having to serve any no-compete clause or any non-compete clause. Because usually, most times wrestlers will basically, talents or the media or people report on it will basically let you know if a wrestler is serving a non-compete clause. But in Andrade's case, there was none. He was straight up fired, from WWE because of allegedly he failed a wellness policy. Again, this was the story. He failed a wellness policy. He had a wellness policy violation, obviously something involving maybe substance use or something like that. And then he was suspended, and he served the suspension, and then he was supposed to come back. He never came back, so he violated that, and then WWE just up and released him. That's the story. That's the story that we all know. And so since then, Andrade was released. And a couple weeks ago, as I mentioned, he went back to AEW. He made his grand return to AEW, which means obviously he signed with AEW at some point between the time he left WWE and the time he debuted. And now we're hearing of this non-compete clause, and it's like literally nobody knew about this thing. Not AEW, not even Andrade himself. Andrade himself apparently wasn't even made aware that he was under a non-compete clause from WWE, according to this report that I read. How is it that neither AEW nor Andrade knew about this thing? Did WWE just not fucking tell Andrade? Did WWE not put it out there? Hey, we released this guy. He's under non-compete. He can't sign anywhere for 90 days. Usually they fucking up and tell you right up front. But there was nothing said. Literally nothing was said. Now either Andrade slipped up and he didn't basically inform AEW of this, or AEW didn't do their due diligence. But even then, usually you would be made aware of if a wrestler is not, if you can't sign a wrestler for a period of time, usually it's out there. Usually if somebody's serving a non-compete clause. You would think that would be mandatory, because this is a legal thing. You have to be made aware of it. But all of a sudden, Andrade signs with AEW. Now, just out of the blue, WWE's coming out saying, he's under a non-compete clause. He's not supposed to have signed with anybody. And so now what has happened is WWE has come out and said that Andrade's non-compete clause is apparently going to go beyond the 90 days due to a quote-unquote violation. Now, it didn't specify whether it was because of this, because he signed with AEW, or because of something else, because of the terms of him leaving WWE or him getting fired. But now it is coming out that Andrade may have to serve this non-compete clause for a full year. A full calendar year. He has to sit on the sidelines now. He can't sign with anybody. He can't go anywhere. He can't sign with any company. He can't compete with anybody for a full calendar year. And just thinking about this as a whole, just kind of taking this all in. I'm reading this report. I'm hearing all these things other people are saying. Other people talk about this. I'm thinking to myself, is WWE really this petty? I'm just being real. Whether or not Andrade deserves another shot in AEW, that's a separate issue. You guys know my thoughts about that. I personally don't think they should have taken a chance on him. But that's another issue. But my thing is, How is it that WWE is going to sit there, not make this wrestler aware that they're under a non-compete clause, and Andrade just didn't know anything? Like, again, according to this report, Andrade had taken independent bookings following his release from WWE. So he was completely unaware, according to this, he was completely unaware of the fact that he was under non-compete. And then he signs with AEW, and then he just vanishes. And now we're hearing these reports. And it's like, did WWE intentionally do this? Did they intentionally not tell Andrade or not tell anybody that he was under non-compete for 90 days or a year, however, whatever the fuck the case may be? And it's like, if that's the case, that is some next level petty shit, man. That is some next level petty shit. And that's also a legal violation. Like, you're supposed to, again, this is a very serious legal matter. And according to this report also, Andrade could challenge this in court if he wanted to, which he may very well. You know, so we'll see what happens. But it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. How can you sit there as a employer, you know, WWE, how can you sit there, release a talent, and then tell them, and then not make them aware that they're under a non-compete clause or whatever the fuck, you know? Or like there was some exemption or whatever. And then you didn't even make the guy aware before he goes out and tries to, you know, wrestle somebody else or sign with somebody else? You're not going to make him aware of that? Like, that's petty. It honestly is. And I hear people all the time talk about, oh, AEW is petty. Tony Khan is petty for adding injury time to wrestlers' contracts. You know, with the Ray Phoenix, Penta situation and, you know, Miro or whoever. You know, people talk about AEW and Tony Khan being petty. This is some next level petty shit. Now Andrade has to basically be under a non-compete for a year because of some bogus violation. You know, oh, he signed with AEW when he wasn't supposed to. He made an appearance on AEW TV when he wasn't supposed to, which he wasn't even fucking made aware of. Like, I'm sorry, that just comes off as really petty and really just, it shouldn't be allowed, quite frankly. Like, that honestly sounds like some bullshit. Like, if I were AEW or Andrade, I would challenge that shit. Like, because as a wrestler, you have a right to know whether or not you can go to another company. Like, if I'm working for a company and I get fired and I go fucking apply to another job and so on and so forth, my previous employer basically has the responsibility of telling me whether or not I can go and seek employment elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's true for any job. And I know there are other jobs out there, certain, you know, careers and stuff like that, where they'll have non-compete, or, you know, you can't go, you know, you can't work for another company for X amount, you know. It's very rare. I don't know, like, outside of, like, you know, things like sports and wrestling, I don't really know of a case where that's, you know, I don't really know, you know, because that, you know, I don't delve into stuff like that, but I'm sure it's out there. You know, I'm sure there's, you know, a number of different jobs, careers, and stuff like that where, you know, non-competes or, you know, that sort of thing exists. But if that's the case, again, you should make the employee or the former talent aware that they're under a fucking non-compete and they can't fucking do whatever for however long, whether it be 90 days, a year, whatever. So this is a major failure on WWE's part if they did not inform him of this. And if they did inform him of it, then it falls on Andrade for not letting people know. So I don't know what the case is, but according to what I'm hearing, WWE is the one who basically did not let Andrade know. So I'm gonna until I get more information. And again, this is a developing story. Until we get all the details, I'm gonna go with the assumption that WWE didn't tell him, and they're being incredibly petty by doing this. That's my mentality, and it is what it is, dude. Like, WWE, they got a lot of shit to worry about. I think the last thing they need to worry about, or, you know, fucking, you know, concern themselves with, is the contract or what a former wrestler does with another company. I think they got a lot more problems on their hands. I think they got more pressing issues to worry about. That's just me. But to me, if this is the case, which it looks like it is, it's incredibly petty on WWE's part. And if I were Andrade and AEW, I would definitely challenge this, because this seems like a legit legal matter. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for now. But those are my thoughts on it. WWE being petty as usual, and I'm sure people are gonna fucking defend this shit, you know, because again, you know, WWE marks. There are people in the media who cape for this company no matter what. But and trust me, I am far from the biggest Andrade fan, especially the way, you know, he kind of left AEW in the first place, and he's bouncing from company to company. You know, he wants a second chance. I'm all about giving second chances, but I do have a limit. But we'll see what happens. But in this regard, I think Andrade was wronged. I'm just being real. I think Andrade was wronged. So that's kind of my stance on it right now. But anyway, those are my thoughts. That's my take on this whole thing. WWE is petty. That's just where I'm coming from. Anyway, go ahead and give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. If I left anything out, of this in terms of information regarding this, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Give me your thoughts on it. And be sure to like this video. Leave a comment, as I mentioned before. Give me your thoughts on anything I talked about here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support you can get. With that being said, it's pretty much going to do it. So my AEW Wrestle Dream predictions video will be coming very soon. That's going to be it for me for now. Thanks for watching. Till next time, Wrestle Otaku, I'm out. See you guys later. Peace.